It is September 18th, 2025, and a good day to die in America. Thanks to everyone that bowed down to Donald Trump. This is the John Brown Alliance, where we don't fear, we fight. Please like and subscribe to this video. It costs nothing to subscribe. It costs everything not to. The first time Barack Obama was elected President of the United States, there was a meeting headed up by Mitch McConnell. At that meeting, he said, "We will make this a one-term president by any means necessary." Since then, he has advocated endlessly for an authoritarian takeover of this government, including the appointment of Supreme Court justices, influence in Congress and the Senate. And now he wants to sit on his deathbed and act like he doesn't like Donald Trump. This is the legacy of America. That brings to mind another individual who I loathe, George Wallace. Segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. And it wasn't till he got shot that he had a come to Jesus moment. And then the last person that took care of him, guess what color they were? They were black. Now, if you sit in Congress or the Senate and you still operate under the illusion that your salary is safe under this administration and that you will not be eliminated, you are sorely mistaken, very misguided, and we should not have put our trust in you. You took an oath to the United States Constitution. Every last one of you who are remaining silent right now, taking AIPAC money and continuing to be pro-Israel. When you're pro-Israel, let me explain something to you as a Native American. You, after World War II, the United States of America endorsed the colonization of Palestine to create an Israeli state. The reason for this was because white people in America did not want Jews here in the United States en masse. Why? Because they would upset the order. So now you have them over there that you finance so that they can put down and kill another brown people. But that's another show for another time. So I digress. Here's what we're dealing with right now. We have Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, and others taking money from AIPAC. We did not elect you for that. We did not elect you to do insider trading and get rich off of information that you got by sitting on that body. We didn't do that. There is a way out of this for you. But you're not going to take it because greed dictates how you vote. Now I'm going to go back to what's going to happen to you when you do this. The retribution from the people who entrusted you who you took an oath to defend, and who you took an oath to protect the Constitution, that's not going to be your downfall. Your downfall is going to be when the rest of us are gone and they're done playing with you and they're done using you. Don't think for one moment that everything you're getting from the Trump administration by placating to him and appeasing him is going to last, because it's not. And you can hearken back to slavery and how house Negroes ratted out field Negroes. Everybody got killed in the end. The same with Native Americans. They either became part of Bill Cody's Wild West show, or they ended up on a reservation and became people who were targeted and killed. Of course, that happens later on. So when your time comes, you're going to say, hey, why are you against me? Because they're saving you for last, like they do everybody else. Just like Adolf Hitler. See, Adolf Hitler used gay people in Germany to kill off the homeless. Then they sent gay people to concentration camps and employed them to make prisons for others, which were the dissenters, the people who spoke out. Those were the ones who came next. But I digress. If you're a Democrat right now in Congress or Senate, do us a huge favor. Don't speak out. Stay weak. Because what you are doing is letting us know that the Constitution is under fire. We are not in a constitutional crisis. We're way beyond that. We're at the Rubicon between fascism, authoritarian rule, and people being sent to their deaths for speaking out. That's where we are. My job is not to convince you of that as elected officials. Your job is to acknowledge it. Your pockets might be full now, but they're going to empty them when they march your asses off. And the same is going to happen to every member of the Supreme Court, whether they're pro-Trump or not. That is their way. When you are no longer of any use, you become garbage. That includes you, Clarence Thomas. You're not special. As soon as they're done with you, and you're not an asset to fascism, you will be terminated by the very man you protected. This is how this works. They capitalize on greed, stupidity, and compliance. So here is what we expect from our elected officials by September 30th. Everyone who had anything to lose under the Trump administration has already lost it. The people that elected you are poor. They can't get health care. Some of them can't get food stamps. It's gone. So what is another 3 or 4 months? What is another year or 2 years of a general strike? How about we shut your shit down? How about every person that is an electrician or somebody that has access to streaming? What if we could cut your fucking television off so you can't buy CBS or MSNBC or CNN or Paramount or any other outlet? How about every electrician that can turn on the power to a Target or Cracker Barrel doesn't come to work? How about they shut it off because it's their only defense against a tyrannical government that is now threatening our lives by silencing our speech? How about if every truck driver stops delivering goods? We're not going to die. Those of you with Cincinnati rolls in your pockets, traipsing around town, eating at the best restaurants, you're going to be the ones to suffer because you have nobody to cook your food. You're already fucked over the people that don't grow your food because most American products are exported. So you put tariffs on Mexico and other countries that bring us the produce that we need. So you won't get that. But you can't cook. You can't feed yourself. You can't do anything for yourself without people doing it for you. Skilled laborers. But you don't want to pay them. You want to silence them. And you want to run them out of this country. Let me be clear that you might get rid of a few of us. But until my body is dead, I will not shut the fuck up. I am not going to mince my words, appease any person, or live in fear. I have never, in all my life of being a civil rights activist, begged anyone for my life at gunpoint or anywhere else. You haven't even put a fucking gun in my face. All you're doing is threatening to fire me from something or that's pussy shit. So you got fired from your job. So the fuck what? Okay? And then put your gun down because you're a pussy using that. How many people in MAGA, how many people in his cabinet have actually encountered a person of color and been willing to fight them head on? Not a fucking one. You punk ass bitches hide behind your computers, your executive orders, and your social service. And now you're little ICE agents made up of MAGA people that won't show their faces because you're fucking pussies and you're weak and you will never be as strong as someone like me. You are the antithesis of bravery. You are the antithesis of Christian. You are the antithesis of American. And any person in Congress between now and September 30th that continues to condone and facilitate this behavior is the antithesis of brave. And therefore, yes, I say it, a pussy. Please don't be a pussy if you're a member of Congress. But we've come to a place in America where we don't need you anymore. When push comes to shove and we need to restore this country to what it was, we will do what is necessary. And we're not going to put labels on it. We are not going to use the system that has failed us. When rule of law does not apply to everyone, lawlessness applies to everyone. Now I want to do a quote from Williams Jennings Bryan. You shall not crucify mankind upon a cross of gold. Nancy Pelosi, Merrick Garland, and all of you who sold us out and still sell us out, resign now. We are totally ashamed of you. You have given in to the cross of gold by insider trading. You have been the antithesis of every single solitary thing that you stated when you took the oath of office. You can say what you want about people like Mamdani and AOC and Bernie Sanders. But they have more in common with Thomas Paine than you do. And the Trump administration and their white evangelical Christians have more in common with Satan than they do Christianity. Now, once you get that in your head and your head out of your ass, you might be able to do something for this country. But in case you don't, we are going to demand that you shut this shit down. Between now and September 30th, we're calling for 10 million people to travel to Washington, D.C. and surround the Supreme Court, the White House, and the U.S. Capitol. If more come, that's great. And I'm not going to call this a peaceful protest. I'm going to call this the moment of accountability. Because between now and September 30th, each and every member of the Supreme Court that sold American people out to this fascism in violation of the United States Constitution deserves to walk out of that court and face those people that they did that to. Every member in the United States Capitol who fails to uphold their constitutional oath deserves to walk out of that Capitol and face the people. Every member of the White House should have no peace in the city of Washington, D.C. after what they have done to the American people. From Doge and the exploitation of our trust in the United States of America to protect our personal information that has now been possibly disseminated throughout countries that are our enemies, we deserve an explanation from right outside of the White House. We deserve to know. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, where the money that was appropriated by Congress to fund AID, the CDC, states that need food stamps, FEMA, and other entities that keep this country going, we deserve to know where that money is and where it is going. And between now and September 30th, we have two choices. Either we can sit at home and wait to bleed slowly, or we can get to Washington, D.C., and we can demand accountability right now. It's going to take bodies. Now, your government that you chose might be able to organize against you. But the government we chose cannot. People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. And the only way that's going to happen is if you let them know that they are not safe in their bubble from you. They cannot walk away from what they have done. This last week in Minnesota, there has been 2 shooting incidences. In Mississippi, 2 men were found hung from trees. This is not news for the moment or the next bright lettered podcast. This is Jim Crow Esquire and Jim Crow 2.0. We are now reliving the civil rights movement, except this time, white people who voted for Donald Trump and don't fall in line, who are poor, are also black. Yes, white is the new black. But I digress. My job is a free speaking American who still acknowledges the Constitution and fears no one, is to get this message out and to make you understand that no degree of placating, no degree of compliance, no degree of ignoring what is going on is going to save you. We have seen this movie before. And as white people, you should have educated yourselves on what went down in Nazi Germany. Now, I don't give two fucks who makes a statement or an accusation based on my use of the word Nazi. Facts matter. And no matter how hard they try, MAGA is not going to make up their own. They're not going to twist words. They're not going to fit me in a bubble. You know why? Because I'm an American. And if you are acting anything other than that and defending this Constitution right now and rebelling against this bullshit, you are not. So do the rest of us a huge favor. Stop calling yourselves congressmen and senators and elected by the people and representatives of the people. Because if you are doing anything short of speaking out every day, you are not. Stop telling the rest of us how to respond, how to feel, and black shaming and liberal shaming people into placating into this bullshit by showing enough reverence for a person who hated everything that looks like me. Just because I live in this country, I am not obligated to do that. And no matter how many black leaders get on MSNBC and say I should, I'm not. Go fuck yourself. In closing, I'd like to say that as a 25-year veteran of the civil rights movement, I have had death threats. I have been followed by the police. And that's one of the reasons, until now, I didn't get on YouTube. I have never seen anything as disgusting and anti-American as what I'm seeing now. For the MAGA party and those of you who still support them, including so-called Moses Mike Johnson, you are not of God. You're of Satan. And the difference between you and me is I don't need to create distance from my enemy. I come at them head on. I don't do it through other politicians, the National Guard, Secret Service or any of that. I'm not a punk or a pussy. And this government, your government, your revolution that you claim built this nation was not built on pussies like you. It was built on pussies like you that enslaved black people and then decided all of a sudden you were great because you were white. I got news for you. America is going to be great again, but it's not going to be because you made it that way. And it's not going to be because a bunch of pussies made people lose their jobs. It's going to be because you got run out of the White House, literally. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to keep on keeping on. You can take away our food. You can take away our Medicaid. You can take away our jobs. But you can't take away our title as patriots and Americans. We have taken that away from you. You are fascists, authoritarians, and terrorists. Period. You have been denounced by many churches in America now as Christians. So do you think you can continue to sell starvation, evil, and Satanism to the public that still supports you? I think not. There are 340 million people in the United States of America. How many are in the United States government that still supports Donald Trump? The odds look pretty bad. This is the John Brown Alliance. And when you see something wrong, do something right. Furthermore, when tyranny becomes law, resistance becomes duty.